Welcome to a day that is awesome. Everybody is awesome. Tomorrow will be awesome. And I am awesomely me. Hi, my name's Leanne Campbell, and I've been writing an online diary about my program on the Win Right Living program. And I guess part of the reason why I'm video journaling now is there's been changes in me along the way that visually are occurring. So the girls have asked me to get video log what I've been going through and what I'm journeying through. So this is the first one. We've just finished week 4, which is about love addiction. And I guess what's become really apparent as I go through the Right Living program is each week either I've lived through what we then learn on the night, before the nights occurred, or I go to the night and I think, I didn't learn anything tonight, and I felt a little bit dejected last week. Last week was on rejection, and I thought, well, I know I've got rejection issues, and I thought to myself, wow, this really hasn't taught me anything this week. And yet, as I've lived through the week, I've discovered that in actual fact I have learnt things. And I've been using what's called the T tool. So throughout the week, I discovered any time I had a situation where I did feel rejection, or I did feel any of the things we've learnt so far, what I did was looked at the T tool, and the T tool basically, you write down what you don't want, and then you write down what you do want, and you focus on what you do want. And I think one of the reasons why that's so important to me is most of my life I've focused on what's gone wrong and focused on trying to protect myself from that happening again. Whereas now with the T tool, because although I've learnt in the past with different programs about looking at what has happened and what I need to do and then going on in that way, I've always felt the need to protect myself. And what I've learnt so far in the Right Living program that I'm doing is that whatever you focus on is what comes to pass, what becomes real. So I thought to myself, if I focus on the positive and I focus on the growth and all those sort of areas, then that's what I'll attract. I'll attract good things rather than looking for the negative and all that sort of thing happen. I also discovered tonight when we did love addiction that although I felt like I didn't have a love addiction, I actually have. For me, it's not about a romantic love addiction or that sort of thing. For me, it was when I was 5, one of my parents left. So I have abandonment issues, basically. I have felt abandoned for a long time, and that translated into feeling unloved and gave me a sense that I just wasn't good enough and a bit of unworthiness type thing. So I've been trying to recreate and to heal that damaged, heal the fact that I felt abandoned all these years. And in fact, what I've done is I've created, I know this sounds really weird, but because I'm trying to get somebody to put more love inside of me to heal that damage, I've actually created more rejection, really. Someone can't give you more love than what they've got to give, and I needed so much to fill that abandonment that it just wasn't happening. So in actual fact, I've done a great disservice to myself and to the people that I've tried to get that from. So yeah, it's been a really interesting learning experience tonight, and all the things that I've learnt so far in the first 4 weeks have really started to highlight to me where my pain is, where my ongoing pain is. But instead of just focusing on what pain it is, it's more like a realization and an awareness of what's happening. Kind of like you can't see for the trees, and now all of a sudden you can see. You can see that dead tree that's sitting in there that you need to work on. So I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks. I know week 5 there's some sort of, like weeks 1 to 5 I feel like it's like ripping the bandage off all these wounds, and I think weeks 5 to 10 might be putting like disinfectant on it, and weeks 10 to 12, like 10 to 20 is like the healing stage. So far in my life I've changed a lot. A lot of things that used to upset me don't upset me, and I'm tending to find now if I get into a situation where I'm getting highly emotional because of verbal abuse or whatever, that I actually choose not to get upset and angry about it, and actually choose to let it go and to put myself in positions where that's not going to happen. Whereas in the past I probably would have hidden in my room and I could still hear the abuse going on. So whereas now I just go out, and now after 6 years of living in a house where verbal abuse was common and the threat of being kicked out was common, and listening to other family members being abused because of me, or them speaking bad about me for 6 years, I've actually decided to move out. So although I didn't have anywhere to go, I did. I put all my stuff in storage, and I have some great friends so I'm spending a couple of nights at one friend and a couple of nights at another and a couple of nights at my boyfriend's at the moment until I resolve that issue. But I feel fine, which is really bizarre, because last time this sort of thing happened, I was horrified at the idea of having nowhere to live. But this time, it's different. It's like I'm in a different place, and I don't feel like, because I've got no technical place of permanent residence, that I'm not going to be okay. I actually am this time, because I've chosen it. It hasn't been forced upon me. It's not circumstantial. It's not, situations have occurred and I'm stranded. I've chosen to be in this place for my own health. I know that living in verbal abuse eventually wears you down. You get re-hurt over and over again. Those words that come in. Whoever said sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me, has got it wrong. I would rather sticks and stones, because names hurt you more than anything else. And I guess over the next week, now that I've learned about love addiction and how it works, and how trying to suck that love from somebody else can make them run away, basically, it's going to be interesting to see how my week goes this week. So if you haven't done the Right Living program and you want to change your life, then I recommend you do it. Myself and my friends that are doing it are doing really well. If you are doing the Right Living program, then great. Let me know how you're doing. I'd appreciate some feedback, comments, or feedback. So if you want to comment down there, I can talk to you, and But anyway, this is my journey. Whether you like to interact with me or not, that's your deal. Negative comments that are just negative comments for the sake of being nasty, I will delete, because let's face it, I don't need trolls. I've got enough trolls in my life and in my head. So but women in need, women in need. I'm at the Australian one, and I'm doing the Right Living program, first group to go through in Australia. And I think it's helping me. I've done a lot of self-help and hasn't totally worked yet, and I think this time, because I'm getting tools and skills, it's working. So bye for now, and talk to you soon. Alright, bye.